Alright, welcome to Black Dragon TV. This is Andrew. I am Andrew. Some days I'm God, but today I'm Andrew. Today's video is going to be me reading some excerpts. I never get that word right. Excerpts. Out of the Reddit subforum, Am I the Asshole? Seems to be a pretty highly rated. Oh my God. Okay, let me just read this, because I just thought this was the funniest thing ever. I gotta join this forum. Okay, so I just joined the Am I the Asshole subreddit. And it says, $2,555,140 potential assholes. That's how many people are in the group. 28,604 judging you right now. That's how many people are online in the group. That's some shit right there, man. A catharsis for the frustrated moral philosopher in all of us. This is a group description, by the way. And a place to finally find out if you were wrong in an argument that's been bothering you. Tell us about any non-violent conflict you have experienced. Give us Give us both sides of the story and find out if you're right or if you're the asshole. See our best of most controversial at r/AITA_filtered. Okay, so I joined it. I'm in it. I'm reading it. And if you want to follow me on Reddit or join the conversation on Reddit, my Reddit is what is my Reddit? u/BlackDragonAndrew, capital B, capital D, and capital A. All one word. Links are in the description. But for today, I'm going to be going to read an article. I'm going to sort by new, so I'm sorting by new posts. Let's see what they got for me. Andy LBC wrote, WIBTA, I'm sure this acronym means, would I be the asshole if I demanded my boyfriend have his cats fixed? Yeah. Yeah, if you make any demands of your boyfriend, you're the asshole. Obligatory apologies. I don't even need to write the rest of this. Let's just move on to the next one. Let's see what the next one says. Next one says, Would I be the asshole if I called my stepmother out on her double standards? Well, this is an interesting one. Let's read a little bit more into this. Quick backstory. I'm one of 6 kids. Same mom and dad. We're all in our 40s. Good for you. Our parents divorced 20 plus years ago. Both remarried a few years later, giving us 4 step siblings and 2 step brothers and 1 step sister. All similar ages to us. When we all started buying our own homes, we decided where Dad's side of the family was concerned. How long is this? Oh, it's not that long. It just seemed like it was going to be a really long article by the way she started off, but no, it's not that long. When we started buying our own homes, we decided that where Dad's side of the family was concerned, that the kids would take turns to host Christmas at their house. This seems to only apply and ever have applied to my full-blooded siblings, and I, not my step-siblings, despite them being invited / showing up each year because we're all one big happy family. Oh, tell me about it. Every year they show up, never contribute, it's just taken for granted that we'll host them, and it's never reciprocated. Stepmother doesn't seem to see a problem with that, and Dad won't address it even though it has been pointed out to him how rude it is. 5 years ago, it was my turn to host Christmas. It was the end of the worst year of all our lives, and Mom had been undergoing cancer treatment, and partway through the year, we were told she only had months to live. We didn't even think she would make it to Christmas, so by then we were on borrowed time. Then a week before Christmas, we were told Dad also had cancer and was having an operation on the 23rd of December to hopefully remove the tumor, but were warned that if the tumor couldn't be removed, that he would also be terminal. Okay, so Mom's undergoing cancer treatment. Dad's undergoing cancer treatment as well. Given how horrible we all felt and that my step-siblings were having a separate celebration at my stepbrother's, this is too much. I made the call that my stepmother was to come over. It was not appropriate for her weird brother, who was never married nor had children, and appears to basically just be a recluse, to come to Christmas with my siblings and I, while we were all feeling particularly vulnerable. Why he couldn't go to my stepbrother's house, his actual nephew, I don't know. I got so much grief. Okay, so well, okay. I got so much grief for that from Dad and my stepmother about how mean and selfish I was. FYI, Dad made a full recovery and actually got to spend Christmas with us instead of in the hospital. Mom passed away a few weeks later. Okay. Cut to this year's Christmas and it's my turn to host again. And since no one was dying, everyone was welcome. I want to judge so badly, but I've never been through anything like this before. even the step uncle, if that's a thing. Of course that's a thing. During the day, it came out that my stepmother and her children had their family-only Christmas the week before, so they could spend time as a family. Just them, no reason. They just wanted a Christmas without any of my brothers and sisters there. I'm not happy about that, given the amount of grief I got for the last 5 years and the comments that were made about me hosting Christmas last. Oh my God. And it's okay. Do you see my initial reaction to this fucking person's post? Okay, I'm just going to stop right now. No, there's only a couple sentences left. I already have made my judgment, but I'm just going to stop right now. Or sorry, I'm going to continue reading. But when I want to keep things comfortable and low-key because potentially both our parents were dying, and keep people we don't know out of the situation, and that's not okay, and I'm selfish, I really don't know what to think. So do I let it go or call my stepmother and dad out on this? I wouldn't. They're not going to admit it. Calling them out on it's not a helpful. It's not a helpful thing in this situation, unless you're ready to go to war. Calling them out on it's about as useless as pissing in a bucket. Simple as that. And I'll explain just a little bit of my reasoning on that. I like to do that. Pretty good at explaining myself. You want to start shit? You want to pick a fight with someone? Or you want them to shut down? Call them out on their shit and see how well that works out for you. Now, if they trust you, that's a different story. But in my experience, especially with family matters, especially when you are the child, calling out mom and dad on their faults of character is usually a very bad idea. A very bad idea. Okay? So, just don't do it. Have your opinion and keep it to yourself, because this does not sound like a very healthy family situation to begin with. And just let it go. Go tell someone who cares. And I say that in the kindest way possible. Go tell someone who actually has empathy for you in your situation. Okay. See if anybody posted a new one yet. Yes, we got a new one. Nice girl. Nice-ish girl. She's nice-ish. You know what I mean? She's not nice, but she's not mean. She's nice-ish. Am I the asshole? I love how they abbreviate am I the asshole for every single post. Am I the asshole for letting our kid have our dessert? Oops. Am I the asshole for letting our kid have dessert? Just have dessert in general. Well, that's an interesting title. I'd like to see more. This is a fairly short one. Our kid 5 ate all her dinner and asked for gelato for dessert. Why I'm laughing at that, I don't know. That's not funny at all. There's nothing funny about that. That is totally normal if you're in an Italian family. Gelato was Italian ice cream. And it was very good, I might add. In our family, everyone gets dessert if they want it after dinner. So as long as they finish their healthy food first, and they haven't lost their dessert privilege, i.e. from defiance or bad behavior. My husband answered our kids' request before I could and said no. She could only have a popsicle. That's cold. So I pointed out that she requested gelato. He got angry and said a popsicle is healthier because it has less sugar. Again, he stated no gelato. Our kid was listening, so even though this is complete bullshit in my mind, this is a random, arbitrary thing he didn't discuss with me and could not actually explain. I tried to point out that gelato is made with better nutrients to convince him without arguing with him. But that just pissed him off more, so I had to drop it because the kid was watching. I took our kid to the freezer and offered her a frozen mochi. Okay. I've never heard of that before. As a happy medium. Oh, she's going to explain what a mochi is here. It's a little frozen Japanese dessert about the size of a plum. Has less sugar than a popsicle, made from rice, with about 2 tablespoons of ice cream in the center. She was happy with this arrangement, and although it was not the popsicle her father insisted on, I was trying not to directly defy him by giving her the gelato she was denied while still following the rules our kid expects. You finish dinner, you get a special treat of your choice at the end of the day. Anyhow, our kid is still active, swam for 2 hours this afternoon, and does not get candy during the day. Our doctor has no concerns about her weight. I've been forced to ask to get husband and family to back off our kid because of their obsession with weight. Our kid gets soda pop maybe 5 times a year, watered down. My husband makes her do laps and exercise to earn special treats if they aren't dessert. Honestly, it's kind of messed up. So am I the asshole for not supporting my husband in his decision to only let her have a popsicle? Let's see here. Your husband's the asshole. In that situation. Why? Well, it's very simple. You two discussed how you would take care of your daughter. You both discussed that you finish your dinner, you get a special treat of your choice at the end of the day. End of the day being after dinner, I'm presuming. Or supper, as it's called here in Charlottetown. Because we call lunch dinner here in Charlottetown. It's the only place in the world that does that. That's why I specify Charlottetown. I mean, there was no reason to change it. I think your husband just wanted to control the situation. Gelato's a little more expensive than popsicles. She didn't mention anything about financial matters in this blurb. I know a popsicle only costs like 25 cents, and whereas gelato would probably cost like, a serving of gelato would probably cost like anywhere between $2 to $5. It's a 5-year-old. You're both the asshole, actually. You know, you're both the asshole. I'm going to say that because You're bugging over dessert. Your daughter's getting a popsicle. And then you go and give her a Japanese mochi. She's getting her dessert, you know? She's gonna get a dessert, whether it's a fucking popsicle, it's a Japanese mochi, or... What was the last one? I just upvoted that by accident. I'm not removing it either. But she wanted gelato. She wanted gelato and nobody gave her gelato. So who's the loser in this situation? Not that that question was asked, but just in case somebody out there wants to know who is the real loser in this situation, it is that 5-year-old little girl who did not get what she asked for. Is gelato an unreasonable request? Not if your family has money. You can even make it yourself. And they didn't specify whether it was store-bought gelato or homemade gelato. So that would change my opinion from both the parents being the asshole to just one of the parents being the asshole in the situation. Because if it was homemade gelato, the father would be the asshole. If it was store-bought gelato, then... Wait a second. No, if it was homemade gelato... Wait. Yeah, if it was homemade gelato, the father would be the asshole. If it was store-bought gelato, both the parents would be the asshole. No, that doesn't make sense. No, if it was homemade gelato, both parents would be the asshole. Both parents would be the asshole, okay? Because that 5-year-old should be getting... She ate her supper. She should be getting gelato. Just give her the fucking gelato and take both of your sexually frustrated asses up to the bedroom afterwards and fucking screw each other like husband and wife should. And leave her the fuck alone. That's my judgment on it. And if it was store-bought gelato, the husband's the asshole. No, wait. Yes, well, hold on just 1 minute here. Yeah, hold on just 1 minute. If it was store-bought gelato, why is this decision so difficult for me? I've never had to judge a gelato delinquents before. This is what I'm calling these people. The gelato deprivers. They're depriving their little girl of gelato. So mean. But if it was store-bought gelato and they had a lot of money, and there was no prior discussion. There was no prior discussion that this little girl couldn't have gelato. And they have money. The father's the asshole. If they didn't have a lot of money and there's the gelato maybe had an intended purpose, maybe it was being used for a function or at a later time, the father's the asshole still, because he should have explained this to his wife. He didn't say anything. He just went and changed up the rules without consulting his wife. He's still not fucking his wife, which is pretty bad. You know, I can tell just by reading this post that they haven't had sex. They have a non-sex marriage. They have a no-sex marriage. They may have sex 12 times a year, if that. Just by reading that post there. They may not have had sex in 5 years. Next. Let's see if anybody else posted one up yet. Yep, we got another one. 5 years since posted. Am I the asshole for calling my sister weird for calling me cute? Depends on if it's your real sister or your stepsister. This is a very short post. So I'm 14 male and have an older sister, 16 female. She and I are somewhat close. I would call us friends. Today was my first day at a private school. High school, I might add. That may be important. With her because classes are hybrid now. Her and I went to the same middle school, but the uniforms were very casual. In the school, I might as well be wearing a suit to school. So I come out of my room this morning dressed in the uniform. And my sister said, "Oh, you look cute." Well, that sounded pretty sarcastic. Because there's an exclamation mark there, and it's just, I don't know. It's just something sisters would do. I said, What? That's weird. Why are you saying that? I responded with, "What? I can't think my little brother is cute sometimes." I think he meant to say she responded with that, not him. I say, I guess it's still a little out of character for you. She then says, "Well, sorry for trying to boost your self-esteem, dick." Yeah, that's kind of weird. I would never call my sister cute. I would say she looks pretty. But cute is kind of more of a, like, endearing comment. Like, it's just general. Just, like, say someone, "Oh, you look good," or "Oh, you look great," or "Oh, you look amazing," or "Oh, you look pretty." But when you start getting into the, like, endearing comments, like, that could be, like, perceived as, like, boyfriend, girlfriend type stuff, like cute, sexy, hot, you know, things like that, that's kind of awkward. Like, if my sister said that to me, I would feel really awkward. And I don't think she's ever said anything like that to me, so that's kind of why I'm saying it, because it's just not something brother and sister usually say to each other. They don't usually judge each other on their appearance. Actually, most times brother and sister in my life don't even pay any attention to each other. So it's just like one of those things where, like, if someone actually, like, says that to their sibling, it's just weird. No, you're not the asshole in this situation. Next. Okay, there's no new ones, so we're going to go down the list here. And this one. Am I the asshole for wanting to go back home and not apologize for wanting privacy? Written by Wishes to Time Travel. I am 20 female who studies abroad, but then came back to the country on my break and has been on lockdown ever since. Good for you. My neighbor has COVID, and my mom, who lives separately from me, forced me to go to my grandmother's house for 2 weeks initially. It has been almost 3 months now since then. Cool. Initially, the move was for my protection, but recently Mom was talking about, I know where this is going. Oh, never mind. I kind of know where it's going, but it's not going to sound that way when I read it. But recently, Mom was talking about how nice it was that someone was there to look out for Grandma who lives alone. I still wanted to go back home, legally mother's, but was yelled at every time I asked. I'm pretty sure Mom just don't want him living there. Excuse me, her. I don't think she wants her living there. Last Sunday, my aunt and Mom came to Grandmother's house for the first time in a while. While my grandmother was out of the room, I quietly told my mother that I'm going to go back to my house before Lunar New Year, 12 days. My mom blankly stares at me with grandmother coming back. The story is so fucked up. Like, it's so fucked up. I'm sorry. It's fucked up. I'm allowed to judge, right? Right? I'm allowed to judge in this forum. So I'm judging. My mom goes berserk. My mom deliberately asked me out loud, on what purpose am I going back to my house for? Yeah, why would you want to move back into your own house? Like, what a fucking crazy thought. Like, who the fuck wants to live in their own house? Like, really? My mom goes berserk, and grandmother says to my mom, let her go back, and while we are on it, your daughter has no manners and doesn't help with any of the house chores. And always sticks her inside her room to eat and closes the door. My mom adds that, with how I am ungrateful and never do the chores I ask, I only don't like cleaning fridge. What the fuck? I'm done. I'm so done with this story, dude. I was starting to get emotional and blurted out the reason why I always close my door while I was living with mom and while I was in high school. I heard her having sex with one of her boyfriends, and I was uncomfortable with people/men coming to our small apartment, hence why I like to close my door when I... This is such a fucked up story. Oh my god. My mom... It's so normal, but at the same time, like, this is being explained at 4:38 in the morning. It's just really fucked up sounding. My mom looks at me while smiling, almost psychotic. I gotta eat. Just hold on a minute. I gotta eat. The story's making me hungry, man. Oh my god. I love barbecue chips. Okay. I can't even read this without laughing hysterically. My mom looks at me while smiling almost psychotically. After I tell the reason why we already read that. After I stated the reason why I close my doors and I like my privacy, she starts throwing her hands and yells how is she supposed to be a nun while she was living with me. Come on, this can't be fucking real. This story's not legit, man. This can't be real, man. My aunt and grandma literally had to physically come between us. I'm fucking done, man. Okay. I'm gonna wake everybody in the house up. I should not be doing this right now. I didn't realize it was gonna be this funny, man. My aunt and grandma literally had to physically come between us, and I went to the room I was staying in. While she catches up to me, she demands her house keys, which I promptly left on the fridge after, and demands the phone and her boyfriend gave for me as a birthday present. I did not ask for it. And also demand the small amount of money she gave me to save up for tuition because she is not good with saving money. She pays for my tuition. I sent her the money. Okay, so her mom's demanding the keys back, demanding the phone that her boyfriend bought her for her birthday back, and the small amount of money she gave her daughter. She's also asking for that back too. All this time, my mother is solely yelling about how she has the right to have sex in her apartment as much as she wants to, etc., which is weird because she is really missing the point of why I brought that anecdote up to prove why I liked closing my room door. That's very true. And this is why I don't like to argue with people who aren't listening, because they usually just hear what they want to hear, and that's all they want to hear because that's what they want to hear. So you could tell them you went to Timbuktu for Tim Hortons, and they would say, oh, you went and fucked a whale. That's what they would hear in their mind, you know? But anyway, that's just, That's just the way people work. All this time, my mother is slowly yelling about, oh, we already read that. And just now, Grandma suddenly comes into my room and says Mother is allowing me to go back to my home on Friday morning. My grandmother also asked me to come in during the eve of the Lunar New Year for a family gathering, and on the day of the Lunar New Year, she lastly wants me to send a small text to Mom apologizing. I don't want to. Well, you're 20 years old. You're an adult, first of all. Your mom, who lives separately from you, forced you to go to your grandmother's house for 2 weeks initially. Oh, shit. I see how this works now. Mom lives with the grandma. Daughter lives on her own. Daughter's neighbor gets COVID. Mom gets scared, says, you're coming to live with us. She could have explained that part a little better. Because the reading I was getting was that she was living with her mom, and her mom sent her to go live with her grandma, which doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I was laughing at the whole thing. Mom lives with grandma. She says, you're coming to live with us. We don't want your neighbor giving you COVID, so you're coming to live with us. She wants to go back home. Oh no, this is not how this works either. Grandma lives, sorry, I read this all wrong. This is just a really confusing situation. Mom lives separately in her apartment with her boyfriend. Grandma lives in a separate place, and daughter can't go live with mom because it's just not, there's not enough room there for her, I'm assuming, or something like that. So she's gonna go live with grandma. She wants to go back to her own house, but mom just loses it on her. Mom just loses it on her. It's been 3 weeks because she likes the fact that she's there, quote unquote, taking care of her grandma, but her grandma's made it very clear that she's not taking care of her. In fact, she's not doing her dishes, she's not doing her chores, and she just takes her food into her room, shuts the door, closes it, and eats. So she's not being social, she's not spending any time with grandma. She gives mom a reason why she closed her door during high school, and her mom just snaps back with, well, what, am I not allowed to have sex? And it's like, no, I'm just giving you the reason why I shut my door. You can have all the sex you want. But obviously her mom's not listening to that. Who's the asshole in this situation? I don't think you're an asshole for wanting to go back and live in your own house. No, I do not think you're the asshole for that at all. And her grandma wants her to apologize to mom for wanting privacy? I don't think that's what grandma was wanting you to apologize to mom for. Okay? It sounds like she just wants you to say sorry. So grandma doesn't know what an apology is, because that's not an apology in my world. Just contacting somebody to say, I'm sorry, or I'm sorry for the way things happened, or something like that. That's not an apology in my world. Just saying, you know? That may work for you, but it's not going to work on me. You know, if somebody texted me with that, I would just look at it and go, oh, okay. Okay. Okay, then. Let's see if anybody posted a new one yet. Just keep it rolling. Let's take a little break here. This vape break brought to you by I did the first puff ever in my life today where it came out of my nose and my mouth at the same time. But it was so natural how it happened. It was just like, and I don't even know how I did it. It was just like, it was just like a perfect stream too. It was just like, why the fuck are there people out in front of my house at 4 a.m? I live in the middle of nowhere. And it's like -20 out there. That is so creepy, dude. Why would they want to listen to this shit? Maybe I was just hearing things, man. I don't know. I know my stories can be pretty entertaining, but not to like stand out front on the highway at 4 a.m. to listen to me talk about stories I'm reading on Reddit. That's just weird. For me. Really weird. To be fair, it's 4:48 in the morning. To be fair, it's almost 5 in the morning. And in this city, people are getting up at like 5 in the morning. They're getting their shit started at 5 in the morning, man. Me, I'm just coming to the end of my day at 5 in the morning. So, like, today I woke up at 4 p.m. I seriously did. And I just worked all through the night. And then I go to bed at like 7 or 8 in the morning. On a day like today, I might go to bed at like noon. Because I woke up at like 4 p.m. So I'll go to bed at noon. And then I'll probably get woken up at like 4 or 5 or something like that. That's my life. So if you want to be like me, which I'm sure not too many of you do, believe me, just do this. No, but seriously, like, what gets me, okay, about the fucking, like, people out front of my house at 4 in the morning? I live in the middle of nowhere. There should be nobody out there right now. Like, It's dead silence. That's what, because I could hear footsteps. I could hear footsteps from 50 meters away from where I'm sitting right now. I can literally hear footsteps. If somebody's walking, they don't even have to be talking. I can just hear their footsteps. But there's nowhere to walk to. Like, there's no stores up here. Stores don't open up here in this area. Anywhere around here for like another little while. I mean, I guess there is like a Tim Hortons nearby, but it's nowhere close to this location. There's no cars even driving on the road. Like, it's just dead silence. Complete dead silence. That's what fucking trips me out, man. Like, where could you be walking at 4 a.m, dude? On a Monday. Is it Wednesday? It's a Tuesday. It's not even a weekend. They're gone. They're not there anymore. Shall we read one more? Let's see if somebody new posted. Yeah. Okay. There's a post here written by 𝓑𝓬𝓭𝓪𝓬𝓪. Am I the asshole for refusing to help someone with stock market advice and for not wanting to speak with them anymore? That was a little bit funny. Just reading that title almost made me crack out laughing. I have a regular account, but I'm using this throwaway just in case. Over the past few days, I had posted on social media in support of the Redditors at r/Wall Street Bets. I bet the GME saga. This is like Chinese, man. I don't know about any of this stuff. One of my family members who thinks I am good with my finances and who thinks I have a lot of investing knowledge, I really do not, decided to call me about possibly going... This is so boring, this story. I don't want to read this. But I mean, I'm already 2 sentences in. I'm invested. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so now it stresses me out to be responsible for other people's money, even if it's a small amount. I don't like owing people money for too long, but that may be besides the point. I'm not a financial advisor. Well, become one. So you can answer questions like this. Just like I'm about to right here. So when I was posed with the question of whether I'd be willing to go help out this way, I began to express my hesitations about being responsible for other people's money. Well, that's the first thing right there that you have to understand, okay? First thing you have to understand when you give someone advice, you are not responsible for what that person does with that advice. That's their choice, what they do with that advice. You're not responsible for their money either. That's their choice. So when I was posed with a question of whether I'd be willing to help out this way, blah, 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 we already read that. And how people could get sued for mishandled stock picks. And I told them my usual disclaimer that I tell people regarding stocks, not a financial advisor, stock picks lose money, the usual CYA stuff. The family member told me that since we're family, this would not be an issue. I continued my hesitation, and then they said, you're really making this simple thing complicated. I replied, how simple is it though? The family member then said, you know what, forget it. I won't ask you for any help about the stock market at all. I replied, I may be able to provide suggestions, but I don't feel right to be responsible for your money. They raised their voice. This is a simple thing, and you're really complicating it and even having to put in a disclaimer. I dejectedly replied, it's complicated after all. Then they ended the call with a sarcastic, thanks for your time. Oh, the dreaded thanks for your time before hanging up. Am I the asshole for refusing to help and potentially wanting to not associate with them anymore? Well, no, actually, you handled the situation as better than I would have, honestly. I would have just told them to straight up fuck off if they had gotten that lippy with me. I probably would have just hung up on them, to be quite frank with you. And that's just how I am, though. I don't take shit from nobody. But you handled it like a professional, you know? You continued to tell them no, and you stuck by your no. You're not responsible to give anybody advice on anything that you don't want to give advice on. And I probably recommended that you don't, because you don't. I wouldn't give advice on the stock market. I don't have any experience with the stock market. I don't know how the stock market works. And I would have just told them that, you know, like, you know, they say, you know, I think you got experience, da-da-da-da-da. No. So just say, no, I'm not. I don't have experience with the amount of experience that you think I have. I'm not doing it. That's final. And that's it. Don't offer a solution. Don't offer anything else. Just say, that's what you're coming to me for? No, I'm not doing it. If they persist, I would just tell them either fuck off or end the call, and that's it, you know. In a polite way, fuck off could be said like, I said no and that's it, and if you say it one more time, I'm just going to hang up on you. And then that's usually when they'll hang up on you. But that's fine. That's what you wanted anyways. So, yeah, just, you know, you handled that like a professional, man. You're not the asshole. You're just not. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment in the comment section. My name is Andrew. This is Black Dragon TV, and I'm getting out of here for today. Out. Peace.